I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on today's video. You know, a lot of times we label the videos a certain something because these are interesting and different cars. We're not that a Toyota Camry is not a great car, but when you're selling 400,000 of them a year, they're not really collectibles and classics. A car that we have right here, we're talking about the last run SRT Hellcat Jailbreak Edition, right? With 500 miles on it. 500 miles on it, okay? Almost $20,000 in options. We're going to spend some time looking at why this one is different than some others you might have seen online. We're going to see all of the good features and great stuff you get with a car like this. We're going to go for a test drive. You are going to decide whether we should keep this. You should keep this as a collector car for the next 25 years. Maybe this is the next Shelby GT567 model. Maybe this is a Shelby Cobra. Maybe this is something that makes some of these cars an LS6 Chevelle. Like, this is what I would call a future classic. You say, Tone, future classic? What does that even mean when you say future classic? And I say, okay, you know what? Thank you for asking. We're going to talk about that next. All right, so when you look at some of these cars, here's how to identify some of these different ones than others. For instance, like right away, the hood is different on these Hellcats, right? And then this one has specific options on it that you might not be able to see right away, but there's also some interesting standard features for these cars. For instance, this car has 20-inch wheels. Why does it have 20-inch wheels? Well, they're for looks, but they're actually not for looks. And the reason why they're not for looks is because it's the only way you could get this giant caliper, okay, inside here with that slotted rotor to slow this car down. We're talking about cars around 800 horsepower, right? The Hellcats are anywhere from 600 to 900 horsepower. 800 horsepower cars, right, need to be able to stop. We already know they can go, right? And so this is all wrapped up in that there. And these are Brembos. So I don't know if you know, and this is kind of funny too, the Challenger, this car here, is actually a Mercedes E-Class underneath. You say, Tone, what are you even talking about? This is crazy talk, right? I say, well, I appreciate that, and you're right. Most of my talk is crazy talk. However, this fact I do know, okay? So for instance, Chrysler was owned by Mercedes in the 2000s. So when this car was launched, okay, they used the Mercedes E-Class underpinning. It's why when you drive this car, it is so solid and so good compared to many other muscle cars. Most people didn't know that. This had an independent rear before the Camaro and the Mustang had independent rears, right? Because it was out of a Mercedes E-Class. All heavy-duty parts in here. The transmission, for instance, out of a truck. Why? Because it's the only thing that they had on the shelf that could handle torque of 1,000 pounds, 1,200 pounds, whatever it is that you could modify this to, where there's some of the factory vehicles, like you know, the 350 series trucks and things like that, had enormous amounts of torque and towing power. It fit naturally right in there. All right, so this is original triple nickel paint, and we've electronically metered it to make sure. Come on up here. It's not an easy color to show here inside, so we'll do our best to show you how crisp and clear it is, but it's actually really, really nice factory paint, and why it looks glowing inside here and looks even better outside. All right, so we have two types of people who get a car here at Fleming's, and that is somebody who wants just a cool car to drive to work and enjoy, maybe go away on the weekend, stuff like that. And then we also have somebody who would like that, as well as maybe go to a Cars and Coffee and go to a car show. And this is where this car really shines. Let's take a peek under here for a minute. The engine and packaging in here is spectacular to look at. It really is. And we're talking about a car with 500 miles on it. It's also a last call, right? And that means that's the last run of these cars. That's it. There were no more to be had in ICE, internal combustion engines, right? Now they're electric. And then these are important things to look at when you're buying a car. So for instance, are the original tags still in place? Why is that important? Well, because that way you know that it has been crashed and these parts have been replaced. Here's the VIN stamped here on the shock towers. Important pieces again, not been in an accident and what have you. And then you throw in the fact that these Hellcat engines, they're 6.2 liters. And a lot of people say, well, why is a Hellcat engine smaller than the 6.4 liter SRT engine, but it makes more horsepower? Well, the reason why is because the 6.2 liter block is a much stronger, much better block to start with. And while it's a little bit smaller, they're able to make much more power out of it, because it also had much higher components too. When they try to save some money and go to 6.4, that's kind of what happens there, and you lose some of the ability to make huge amounts of power and have reliable power. And again, when you can buy a car with 800 horsepower and it comes with a warranty like 3, 4, and 5 years, right? That's pretty incredible. All right, the styling of these cars is unmistakable muscle car, right? Once we get inside, you're gonna see how comfortable it is, but I'm gonna share something with you that you don't know, and that is that this is a functional car. First off, it's a great looking car back here. The LED taillights are gonna last forever styling wise. This already has an upgraded Flowmaster exhaust system in there, okay? And then you got backup cameras and what have you. Here, we've undone the trunk here. I want you to come on up here and check this out. This is the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system, and here is a subwoofer wrapped in here. I'm showing you these things because all of this stuff is still in the plastic, right? This is the tire inflator, right? And then we put this here because we like to make sure that we keep the battery charged. The sticker's not even taken off of the Harman Kardon sound system here, keeping it nice and original. But more importantly, I wanted to show you here, look at the size of this trunk. You could take luggage, you could go away for the weekend, you could go to a car show, you could go to the beach, you could use this car with the power and enjoy the coolness that it brings with enormous amounts of power and comfort too. I love this look where you're walking up to your cool car. Maybe you drove it to a car show, maybe you drove it to work, something like that. Everybody's going to get to see how great looking this car is. One quick thing I wanted to point out that some people miss is these are cold air intakes right here, right to the cold air box that's sealed. That's pretty cool from a factory car. Anyway, let's get inside and see some of what you get in there. Okay, well, thanks for joining me in here. There's a lot of cool stuff on these cars, and I'm sure that you've read about them right online and things like that if you're looking at this car, but there is a lot of options on here. We almost $20,000 worth of additional options on this car, from the sunroof to the special seating here to the upgraded audio system, right? The jailbreak callouts are on here. It's a cool piece because it's different, man. It's not like every other Hellcat that's out there. This has some cool features too. It has launch control, right? Launch control on a factory car, right? Heavy duty transmission here, 200-mile-an-hour speedometer. How you doing? Oh, right? 7,000 RPM tach, got the factory sunroof, and all that aside, the car, if you've never driven one, is one of the most comfortable cars you'll drive. Muscle car, family car, luxury car. It is a great riding, great driving car that you can wheel all day with. And you got paddle shifters here if you decide you want to make it a manual transmission car. You got a killer audio system here. Got all your Apple stuff that you need to pair with it as well. Climate control, power windows, mirrors, locks, tilt wheel, cruise control, like everything that you could want in a great car. And throw in 800 plus horsepower and you got yourself a winner. All right, so the sound is great. Check out the sound out the back. Very nice. So we all know that these cars go fast in a straight line, but what you don't know is with the big wheels and tires, the independent suspension, right, that they also handle. And you gotta have good brakes. And I'm using the paddles to shift. We're only using half the RPMs. And I'm having a good time. And I'm smiling because I know that you're gonna love this car. The exhaust sounds good. Downshift for this. Oh, what's that? Is that some supercharger whine? How you doing? All right, so we're back on a country road. Again, we know they go fast straight, right? But do they handle? And how is this for handling? Good brakes. Turns in nicely. Not a small car, that's why it's so comfortable. And what a great sound that exhaust makes. We're not even tapping into any power yet. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Planted and moving, man. Woo! That was fun. Anyway, thanks for getting me out of the office for a little while today. Hope you had a good time. If you don't mind, hit the like button down below. That helps get our message out. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. We got new stuff coming out all the time. And maybe share it with your friends. They might see something they like as well. And I'll see you on the next one. I don't like to drive your new car fast, but that was a nice drive, wasn't it nice? I'll let you drive it fast when you get it. Anyway, I just wanted you to hear it and see what it looks like going down the road so you can see what it looks like to other people. I just want to run down a couple things. When we talk about a lot of options on a car, but we talk about some standard stuff too. Those 20-inch rims wrapped in factory Pirelli tires. Like the wheel and tire setup alone, if you went to the dealer right now, is somewhere around $5,500 just for wheels and tires. It is insane how much this car is to build if you're trying to upgrade a regular car. The Jailbreak Edition, the Laguna seats, the sunroof, the audio system, the heated seats, there's so many great things about this car, and it's less than 600 miles on it right now. It is amazing, amazing piece of history. I feel like this could be a future classic someday, and I hope we can find a way to get it in your garage.